treasure.
Guess what? Tyler went shopping at a scrapyard and came home with a pile of chainsaws. Let's go through them one by one and see what we have. First up here, we have, it's either an 034 or an 036. Somebody has stripped some of the parts off of it. Brake handle, recoil, air filter cover, top cover, clutch cover. Quite a bit missing, but these make excellent part saws. Now, why is it the scrapyard? We found a whole bunch of saws with a dealer tag on them. I'm not going to name the dealer, but now I know that they take their saws and literally sell them for nothing at the scrapyard. I've removed the tags, but a bunch of these saws had customer names, customer phone numbers. So why was this saw thrown out at the scrapyard? Let's just take a quick look over it and see what we can find here. So the spark plug is loose. So somebody probably had it out, maybe looked in the hole and then stuck it back in there, and that was the end of it. So from this view, I see nothing wrong. Zama carburetor, made in Japan. The fuel line is gone. Oh no, the fuel line is in the bottom of the tank in pieces. Oh yeah, the fuel line's rotten. Maybe they wrote it off because the fuel line was rotten. Let's see if, there it is. There's a piece of it. Hard as a rock. There's what ethanol fuel does to fuel line. The other piece of the fuel line is stuck to the bottom of the fuel tank. Okay, so the piston cylinder from this view look okay. The fuel line is rotten, so it probably needed carburetor work. We have a coil and a flywheel. Muffler's still on. Let's pull that muffler off. I don't know. Let me get my camera and you guys can have a look. So it looks pretty good in there. I can see the factory machining marks on the piston. There's no scoring. I just stuck my cheap little caliper in there and measured the piston, and it's 46 millimeter, which means that we have an 034 here. If it measured 48 millimeter, then that would mean that this was either an 034 Super or an 036. So we have an 034. Nothing wrong with that. I believe this is an OEM Stihl cylinder. Just the fit and finish look OEM. There would be writing on this, but it's hidden. There's a lot of dirt. The bolts are covered in dirt. I see no sign that anybody's ever rebuilt this saw. So I think we have a really nice piston here, piston and cylinder. So whether this saw is for parts or potential put it back together, I'm not sure yet. I guess if I run out of things to do, we could go to this. What are the chances that I'm going to run out of things to do if Tyler keeps bringing chainsaws back here? All right, so an 034 part saw. Next. And next up we have a Husqvarna 61. And somehow Tyler was able to find the recoil. So it's been stripped of a few things. The piston is trashed. These have one piston ring. It's stuck. So there's a good Husky 61 part saw. If I need a part for one, I'll know where to go find it. Next. Next up, we have a little Echo chainsaw. This is a CS310, assembled in the USA. This is a newer saw, missing some parts. I wonder why it was found in the scrapyard. There's fuel in it. I'm pretty curious as to why this thing is in the dump. It has fuel in it. Doesn't smell that bad. I wonder if it runs. Let's just pull the cord a few times and find out. Well, this little Echo runs. It doesn't run well, but it runs. Just looking it over here a little bit, and I can see there's an aftermarket carburetor on it. And I can also see that when I pull the trigger is hitting that line, the fuel line, and not allowing the trigger to open all the way. If I shove it out of the way, there's more travel there. This is some very poor workmanship. This saw had the dealer's name and phone number on it. If I was them, I would take my name off these things before throwing them in the scrapyard, just in case someone else comes along and picks them up. If this is dealer work, this is really poor. This is interesting, and we may circle back to this, but not today. Next. And next up from the scrapyard, we have an Echo CS590 Timberwolf. It's been stripped of some parts. Everything carb out is gone. All these red tags are mine. I just number them, so if I go back looking for them again, I can find them. Compression doesn't feel that great. And it was in. Maybe it has compression. Let's pull that muffler off and take a quick peek in there. All right, so it looks like we have an Echo CS590 part saw here. Something happened to this, whether it was straight gassed, dirt ingestion, not really sure. But it'll be handy having a Timberwolf on the shelf for parts. Next. And next up, we have a Poulan 3000 made in Markham, Ontario, Canada. I'm pretty sure that when I unloaded the trailer full of saws, there was one of these in that trailer as well. Are we collecting Poulan 3000s now? Maybe. Starter rope is gone. Let's pull that recoil off. It does roll over. Who engineered this saw? You have to take the bar and chain off to get the top cover off. Spinny top plug. Let's take a look in the spark plug hole. So who knows why this was in the garbage? I see the handle has been welded back before. The piston cylinder look okay. Seems to have compression. Probably fuel system issues. Maybe it has an air leak. Maybe someone just didn't want to look at it anymore and threw it in the scrapyard. Next. And here we have a Husqvarna 359, and this is from 2004. It's been stripped of quite a few parts, but that's okay. These are nice saws to have on the shelf. Actually, in that big trailer load, there was one of these as well. So now I have, I think, 3 of these saws now, and all 3 are part saws. The piston is trashed. Welcome to the Second Chance Chainsaw Ranch. Next. And next up from the scrapyard, we have a Stihl 026. There's been a few parts harvested off of it. Carb is missing, plastics, brake handle, and components. I love 026s. Feels like it has compression. The tank is dry. Fuel line and fuel filter are intact, a bit crispy. Tank vents missing. Champion spark plug. Let's take a look in there with the camera. Well, the cylinder is definitely trashed on this one. These saws are so handy to have around for parts. And looking through the exhaust port, the piston and rings have become one. Yep, she's pretty trashed, but I'm happy to have it here. Next. And here we have another Stihl 026. This one has also been harvested of a few parts. Recoil, top cover, air filter cover, clutch cover. The coil is loose. I don't know if that's an OEM Stihl coil or not. The boot says Stihl, but I don't know about the coil. Red lever. Fuel line is rotten. Whew, that stinks in there. Looks like a brand new NGK spark plug in it. The cylinder doesn't look that bad. The piston and cylinder look excellent. The coil's loose for some reason. Something's going on with that bar stud. It's hanging out a bit. I'm happy with that for 10 bucks. Next. And next up we have a Stihl 025 with a bag of bolts hanging off of it. A few things missing. Why is it in the scrapyard? Steel carburetor on it. Somebody has a little note painted on there, 50 to 1. The fuel line and fuel filter are attached to each other. That's a dirty saw. That thing been trenching. Yeah, the piston's destroyed. The rings are stuck. That there is a Stihl 025 part saw. Nothing wrong with an 025 on the shelf for parts. Next. And up next we have an 028 Wood Boss. Why was this in the scrapyard? It's missing a few parts. Fuel cap, air filter cover, air filter. Got a bar and chain with it. Missing the muffler, but we got the muffler bolts. It has some compression. And that carburetor is aftermarket. The spark plug is aftermarket. Chain catcher still on there. One bar not missing. The piston looks okay. Fuel system problems, maybe. And someone threw it in the trash. This is a potential rebuild candidate right here. This thing might clean up very nice. I've got everything to put this thing back together. I have 028 part saws that came in the trailer load last weekend. Awesome. Next. And up next we have an MS201 rear handle, and this is not M-tronic. We have the clutch cover and the muffler zip tied to it. Fresh from the scrapyard. Looks like it's had a bit of a rough life. It's missing some parts. Thanks, Tyler. So if you take your spark arrestor out of these 201s, you will melt everything. That's because the spark arrestor was taken out. It's probably a part saw. That's okay. A 201 for parts. There is fuel in the tank. Get that dumped out of there and we'll put this on the parts shelf. Next. And here we have a Makita DCS 340. Well, what's left of it. Tyler could see this thing poking out of the mud at the scrapyard, and he dug it out. Tyler has a fetish with Makita chainsaws, and we use all Makita tools here in the shop. Makita parts are expensive. This would be a nice little item just to have on the parts shelf. You never know when you'll need something, and I don't want to order new Makita parts. Just imagine what that flywheel's worth. Coil. cylinder. Looks like a good crankcase. Next. Here's that 201 that I showed you a couple minutes ago. I wanted to show you the front of the case. This thing's been smashed pretty bad and it's been repaired. See, that's all repair there. So this is definitely a part saw. And next up, we have a couple little Homelite XL-1 sisters. Both these came from the Scrapyard. Both are missing their carburetors. That one's got a clutch cover. That one's missing it. I don't know anything about these, but I know there's a lot of Homelite collectors out there that probably know a lot about these. These were made in Canada. This tag here says Terry Industries. Why are these blue? I thought Homelites were red. You can tell me in the comments whatever you know about these saws. My shelves are getting pretty well full. I'm not going to keep these. I'm going to throw these saws up on eBay together. So if you want these, go and check out our eBay store. Next. And next, fresh from a scrapyard, a Homelite Super Mini. These are made in Quebec, I think. Model number 50158. I know nothing about this saw. I don't know its age. I think that's just a hand guard. I don't think it has a chain brake. Has compression. There's the chain oiler right there. On-off switch. How many cc's is this thing? Here's a sticker on top of it. Warning, chainsaws can be dangerous. Before using this product, read the owner's manual. Remove fuel cap slowly. Gasoline may surge from the tank. To stop it, flip the switch to stop. That's neat. Back then they put instructions on a chainsaw. I wonder if this thing will start. I'm going to hand it over to Tyler. He can go outside with it and pull on it. I'll meet you outside.
A little fire. I'm not going to go put gas in the tank yet. But I might want to work on this one myself.
Maybe we'll keep this saw, or I could throw it up on eBay. Is there any interest in something like this? If you'd be interested in this saw, let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll throw it up on eBay and one of you guys can tinker around with it. Next. And here we have a McCulloch Pro Mac 1010. It looks to be complete. Looks to be a chain brake on this one. Los Angeles, California. I don't think they make chainsaws in Los Angeles anymore. There's the oiler, choke, on off, spark plug back here. That's a little chunk of a saw right there. Has compression. Tyler, do you want to try to start it? Let's step outside with it. A little bit of mustard.
That's Moto Mix, in case anybody wonders.
more mustard.
Yep. I don't think so. I'm gonna go with no. I've never worked on one of these. So I guess Erica can. Erica can find out what's wrong with it.
Well, it won't run. Keep it, fix it, put it on eBay. What do you guys think? Next. This was found in the scrapyard just like this with the case. The case is in pretty bad condition. So here we have a Homelite XL2 automatic. Little top handle saw. That's a cute little thing. On-off switch. Made in Canada. I don't know, were all Homelites made in Canada? I know nothing about these. Complete with the Homelite bar and chain. Maybe the original bar. Looks to be in pretty good condition. I don't know what year this thing would be. 70s, 80s. Has compression. What you see is what you get. She's going on eBay.
I'm gonna try and fire it up.
Oh, you want to try to start it?
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler's going to try to start it. And there's what's left of the air filter. Place your bets. Is it going to start?
That's a no.
No spark.
That's too bad.
Whoever gets this, don't pick it up by this handle. Probably wondering what this thing is. This is a McCulloch 15. These were made in the late 60s. This thing is 80 cc. That's old school. There's your oiler. Fuel and oil. Made in Los Angeles, California. McCulloch Corporation. Look at the size of that muffler. Imagine how loud this thing must be. And you know, I don't think anything's missing here. This didn't have some big clutch cover like you're used to seeing on modern saws. This was it. Very crude, very simple. That looks like big chain on there. 404. And it's heavy. Has compression. I wonder if Tyler can start this saw. We're going to find out. Ugh.
That's an interesting air filter. It's hard. I don't think so. We're missing something. There's no ignition coil. I don't know much about this, but I see no wire. I see 2 pegs for the coil of some sort, but there's no coil in there, so someone must have robbed it. And maybe it was just a shelf hanger. Well, that ends that.
Do you want to put this on eBay?
No, I'm gonna go on eBay and look for a coil for it.